Hello everyone, I Professor Bhavik Kumar M. Kataria welcomes you into the video session of computer networks. We are going to discuss unit number 2, that is application layer. In this unit, we will discuss principles of computer applications. Then after we will discuss World Wide Web, WWW. Next, we will discuss HTTP. HTTP stands for the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Then after email, email is actually electronic mail. And then after DNS. DNS stands for the Domain Name System. So, before starting the unit number 2, let's see, we have discussed unit number 1 in our earlier sessions. So let's see some highlights about the unit number 2. So what we have discussed till today. In our first session we have discussed network and internet, where we have discussed about the what is internet, what is network, what is computer. Then after we have defined the computer network. So then after we have discussed about some protocols in this session. At that time we have discussed example of human protocol as well as computer network protocol. Get it? And then after we have discussed communication modes like half duplex and full duplex. Get it? Then we move towards the network edge and network core. Network edge, it is a network edge looks like the components located at a boundaries of computer network. Okay. And network core is like a number of components are located into the central part of computer network. So, in terms of network edge, we can consider the end systems like our computers, laptops, smartphones, or whatever the devices are connected with the computer network. In case of network core, we can consider look like a switch, hub, routers, cables. So these are the network core. We have also discussed the categories of network in these sessions, like we have categorized our network into 3 categories, that is about the LAN, MAN and WAN. LAN stand for the local area network, MAN stand for the metropolitan area network, and WAN stand for the wide area network. LAN was for the single company or a single campus, look like in school, colleges, banks. MAN stand for the entire city, look like a television network we are using at our home. WAN is for the wide area network, and it is for the more than one city or more than one country. In short, we can communicate from any corner of the earth. Then after we have discussed the transmission media. In case of transmission media, we have discussed guided media and unguided media. Guided media is look like a wired network, whereas cables are used like twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, fiber optics, etc. Whereas unguided media is look like a wireless network where we can use the radio waves, microwaves, infrareds, Bluetooth, etc. Then we have moved towards the switching techniques. In case of switching techniques, we have discussed 3 types of switching techniques like circuit switching, message switching, and packet switching. Again, in this 3 types, there was a last type is a packet switch. So we have derived packet switching again into 2 parts. One is for the virtual circuit and another one is for the datagram network. So virtual circuit is look like a circuit switching and datagram is working look like a message switching. So we have discussed packet switching in detail, and then after we discussed delay, loss and throughput with respect to packet switch network. We have discussed total 4 types of delay. In that case, we have discussed transmission delay, propagation delay, queuing delay, and processing delay. Whenever we are measuring the total nodal delay, so we are considering transmission delay and 2 times of propagation delay, because we are considering sending size of data and receiving time of acknowledgement. Queuing delay and processing delay are negligible. Then after we have discussed loss. In terms of loss, we have discussed loss of data signal as well as loss of acknowledgement, and we have discussed delayed acknowledgement. Then we move towards the throughput. In case of throughput, we have discussed equation of throughput as well as we have calculated some examples of delay, loss and throughput. Then after we move towards the protocol layers and their service models. In case of service model, we have discussed OSI reference model, and one homework is there. You have to learn about the TCP/IP model, and you have to compare the OSI model and TCP/IP model by taking few parameters. Get it? And one homework is for the history of computer network. You have to make a case study on history of computer network. So that was everything about the unit number 2 we have discussed till today. So let's start unit number 2 today without wasting the time. And that is our session number 6, principles of computer applications. So we are moving towards the application layer. So let's see here, as per our discussion, wherever the any clients or server or any type of user are going to communicate with the network, so that particular user are communicating through the application layer. It is application layer. It is our user, or we can say that it is our end system. So whenever any user or any end system communicating with the network, that is our, we can say that it is our entire network. Get it? So any user want to communicate with the network, so that user is communicating through the application layer. We have discussed this layer approach during our earlier session. So if you are still remain to watch that earlier video of layered architecture, so you can click on I button at top right corner and you can watch that particular video of layered architecture. So now whatever the devices are there, suppose these devices are there, so these devices are communicating through the application layer. Same thing, any server is there, so that particular server will communicate with the application layer. Get it? So anytime any type of end system or any devices, they want to communicate with the network, so they are communicating through the application layer. Now if we will look about the network application architectures, so there are 2 types of approach. One is client server architecture and one is peer-to-peer architecture. So let's see what is client server architecture and what is peer-to-peer architecture. So that is first thing we will discuss about the client server architecture. So now look here, that is our client. This smartphone is end system. This desktop system is also a client, that is wired connection, whereas that is wireless connection. So both clients are communicating with the servers. It is our server. These are the clients. The smartphone is known as a client. This desktop system is also known as a client. Get it? So this thing is a client-server architecture. Generally, whenever client-server architecture is there, so first client is making a request for the communications and server is responding for the communication. So in most of the cases, whenever client want to start the communication, so first client will place a request for the communications and server give the response for the communication. So that is everything about the client server architecture. They can communicate through the wired or it should be wireless. It is depends on nature of network. Either it should be wired network or it should be a wireless network. Get it? So let's see next. That is P2P architecture. So if you will look about the P2P architecture, so let's see, that is peer-to-peer architecture. So whatever the devices are connected into the computer network, that devices are known as a peer. Like this laptop, we can call it, that is a peer. So here both the peer are communicating. This thing is also known as a peer. So out of these two peer, anyone can be work as a client and anyone can be work as a server. So there is in this case there is anyone, one should be the client and second one should be the server. So it is actually peer-to-peer architecture, but out of these two peer, anyone can be worked as a client and second one can be worked as a server. So this type of architecture we will known as a peer-to-peer architecture. Here again that is a two peer are communicating with each other. Same thing here, two peer are communicating with each other. Get it? So that is all about the peer-to-peer architecture. So guys, if you have any questions or any query regarding to the today's our sessions of principles of computer applications, so you can ask to me your questions or queries by making a comment in comment section. Get it? Next thing, that is process communicating. So there is client server processes. We have already discussed whenever two peers are communicating, so out of this two peer, one process work as a client and second process will work as a server. Get it? Like when there is a two peer, so one process will work as a client process and another process will work as a server process. Next, the interface between the process and computer network. So let's see, that is the important thing, the interface. So what would be the interface between the process and computer network? So let's see here, there is a socket. So that is the interface. It is interface between process and computer network. That is the entire computer network. Get it? This one is entire computer network. And these are the processes. These are the processes. Okay. So whenever processes are communicating with the network, so they are communicating through the socket. Get it? So socket is an interface between process and computer network. It is look like a door. Suppose whenever you are entering into the door, into the any room, so you will enter through the door of room. Like there are multiple windows in room, but we can't enter or we can't come outside from the windows. Get it? We are using the door for entering inside the room, and whenever we want to come outside the room. So same thing, whenever devices are communicating with network, so they are using the socket for a process. So processes are communicating with the network through the socket. Whenever process want to go inside the network or whenever process want to come outside the network, so process will use a socket, and socket is an interface. And one more thing, that is addressing of process. So whatever the addressing is going to be happen, that is known as a socket address or socket programming. That is socket address. And for this thing, there is a use of socket programming. If there is need to make a programming for socket to assign the socket address, and processes are using the socket to connect with the internet. So socket will work as a interface. Done. Now let's see next. There is a transport service available to applications. Generally, whenever process to process are communicating, so that is the responsibility of transport layer. Like somewhere question should be asked to you, who one is responsible for the process to process communication. So you have to answer, it is a transport layer which is responsible to process communication. This type of short question can be asked into the competitive exams like GATE or GPSC. Get it? So generally, today we are discussing application layer, but what are the transport services available for the various applications? So that is first one, that is reliable data transfer. Reliable data transfer is look like a connection should be reliable. Like whenever you are making a phone call to someone, so reliability means there is requirement of proper voice call. Get it? Whenever you are talking with another end, so you require the proper voice from other end. Whenever you are speaking, so another persons are looking for proper voice from your side, as well as there is no delay between the voice. Like if suppose you are speaking and at other end listener will be able to listen after 5 seconds. So this thing is not possible. Get it? So there is requirement with the proper voice, without any type of delay, without any type of interference. Like if you are speaking 10 words and another end only 7 words are listenable and 3 words are corrupted. So this thing is not possible in terms of data communication. Get it? This thing is not acceptable. So it will require the proper communication, proper link, proper voice, proper data, and the connection should be reliable. Like whenever you are talking with the 5 minutes, so suppose out of 5 minutes call is going to be disconnected 3 times. So this thing is not a reliability. You have required the continuous connection up to the 5 minutes during your total communication. So this type of connection look like a reliable connection. So this type of reliable data transfer is a services of transport layer for the various applications. Then after throughput we have already discussed during the packet switching. Whenever we have a total number of resources, out of those resources, how many resources we are able to use, this thing is known as a throughput. Like we have a channel of 10 Mbps, but out of 10 Mbps, how much bandwidth we are able to use? Suppose out of 10 Mbps, we are able to use only 2 Mbps bandwidth, so that is our throughput. And actually our capacity is 10 Mbps, whereas our throughput is 2 Mbps. Get it? Another thing, that is timing. Look like we have discussed, there is no delay between the data communication. So timing is very important, as well as security is important. Like two people are talking, so someone third party cannot interpret that communications. Like suppose I am calling to any persons, and whatever the we two guys are talking, so if someone will be able to listen our talk, so that should be the meaningless communication. Get it? So that's why security is important, timing is important, throughput and reliable data transfer. So these are the various services available for the application layer. Let's see, go next. That is transport services provided by the internet, TCP services and UDP services. So in case of TCP stand for the Transmission Control Protocol, and UDP stand for the User Datagram Protocol. TCP is generally used for the connection oriented service, whereas UDP is used for the connection less service. Get it? It is used for the connection less. So whenever we are communicating with the transmission control protocol, so first we will establish a connection and then after we will communicate. Whereas in case of UDP, there is no need of earlier connection establishment. Look like a circuit switching, there is need to establish connection. But if we will look about the packet switching, so there is no requirement of earlier connection establishment. Get it? So that is TCP and UDP services available for the internet. In TCP, there is a more reliability as compared to UDP. Get it? So these are the services of transport layer. Here a few requirements of selected network applications, like if there is a file transfer or a download. So there is, if we discuss this type of parameters during the packet switch network, like data loss and throughput. So in this case, for the file transfer, there is no data loss, throughput is elastic, and there is no time sensitivity. If we will look about the email, so again there is no loss of data, throughput is elastic, and no time sensitivity. If we will look about the web documents, so again there is no data loss, elastic, throughput up to few Mbps, and there is no time sensitivity. But whenever we will go with the internet telephony or video conferencing, so at that time it is a time sensitive. Get it? And again there is a proper throughput required for the audio and video both. Get it? And there is loss tolerant streaming, store audio or video, same thing. Again this requirement as per look like internet telephony or video conference, little bit variation in requirements. If we will talk about the interactive games, so again it will require some specifications. If we will look about the instant messaging, so again it will be, as our earlier discussion, elastic, throughput and time sensitive. Somewhere it is a time sensitive, whereas somewhere there is no need of time sensitivity. So these are the requirements of selected network applications. Now let's see, various protocols are used for the particular services. Like for the electronic mail, there is SMTP. There is a simple mail transfer protocol. SMTP stands for the simple mail transfer protocol. It is used for the electronic mail, and it is using the TCP connection, transmission control protocol. TCP connection used by the SMTP, whereas remote terminal access, so it will use the protocol telnet. Telnet, in terms of telnet, tel is stand for the terminal and net is for stand for the network. So there is actual full form of telnet protocol is terminal network. Get it? Again, underlying transport protocol is TCP. Then after web, in short, World Wide Web protocol used for the HTTP. Whenever you are looking to any URL, so you will be found www.http or HTTPS. Get it? HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol and S is for the security. That is. Next one is a file transfer. If you will look about the file transfer, so that is a FTP. FTP stands for the file transfer protocol. For the streaming multimedia, again HTTP. For example, like currently you are watching the video on YouTube, so you are using the protocol HTTP. Internet telephony is used the SIP protocol under the UDP or TCP. Get it? So these are the various protocol which is used for the various types of different applications. And in our discussion, we will also understand the detailed SMTP, Telnet, HTTP, FTP, etc. This type of protocols we will also discuss in detail whenever it is required to use. And our next session we will discuss World Wide Web, WWW. So hope you are enjoyed today's sessions. Again, if you have any query regarding to the today's sessions, you can make me comment or ask the questions in comment box. I will try my best to solve out your queries or any type of questions. Thanks for watching the video session of Computer Network. Stay connected, stay healthy. Thank you very much.